Hello everyone and welcome to the weird, scary and horrible parts of humanity. Today we are looking at the 1983 Rangoon Bombing in what is today Yangon in Burma, which is today Myanmar, which was orchestrated by North Korea in an attempt to assassinate the fifth president of South Korea, Chun-Doo-Wan. Chun-Doo-Wan is, debatably, one of the most controversial leaders of South Korea and led a de facto dictatorship from when he became South Korean president on the 1st of September 1980, following the resignation of President of South Korea Choi Kye-ha. This would last until the 24th of February 1988. To give a bit of background, on the 12th of December 1979, a military insurrection led by Major General Chun-Doo-Wan, commander of the Defense Security Command, ordered the arrest of Chief of Staff General Jong-Il on allegations of the assassination of former President Park Chung-hee, which took place on the 26th of October 1979. In May 1980, Choi had declared martial law following the 17th of May coup d'etat, and he ruled with a bloody fist, with the pro-democracy Gwangju uprising between the 18th of May 1980 and the 27th of May 1980, seeing an estimated 987 South Korean protesters killed. By this stage, however, Choi was merely a leader in name only, and Chun was the true, albeit de facto, leader of South Korea. Shortly after the military uprising, Choi was forced to resign on the 16th of August 1980, and on the 27th of August 1980, Chun was voted in by the National Conference for Unification with 2,524 votes and 15 members who did not vote. There was only one invalid vote, and it was believed that this was a mere attempt to differentiate South Korea from North Korea, where Supreme Leader Kim Il-sung would win 100% of the vote. On the 27th of October 1980, Chun changed the constitution and most opposition candidates were banned. On the 15th of January 1981, Chun founded the far-right Democratic Justice Party. The Electoral College election took place on the 11th of February 1981, with Chun winning 60.71% of the vote, and the rigged presidential election on the 24th of February 1981 seeing Chun-Doo-Wan voted in with 90.23% of the vote. This saw the Fifth Republic of Korea created in March 1981, with Chun running a dictatorship. However, Chun remained close to the United States of America and, debatably, its best ally in the region, in combating communism from North Korea and the Soviet Union. He announced the Korean People Harmony Democracy Reunification Program in an address on the 22nd of January 1982, but this was rejected by the Kim Il-sung regime. On the 2nd of March 1962, a coup d'etat in Burma, now Myanmar, took place, which saw the military junta take over the civilian government, which would be the case for Burma until 1988, which saw the country run by a one military state. Since 1948, Burma had fought against communists in Burma, who attempted to overtake the country, until 1989, when the communists were disbanded. In 1983, Sang-chul was the president of Burma, having been leader since the 9th of November 1981, and had continued to fight against attempted communist insurgencies within Burma, with Ne Win, Burma's military dictator from 1962 to 1988. However, Burma found itself in a unique situation and had relatively good relations with both South Korea and North Korea, with formal diplomatic relations established in May 1975 with both countries. On the 9th of October 1983, President Chun-Doo-Wan flew with a large escort from Seoul, South Korea to Rangoon, now Yangon, the capital of Burma, for an official visit. This was part of a six-country visit across Southwest Asia and the Pacific, with Burma their first stop. There he planned to lay a wreath at the Martyrs' Mausoleum, which is dedicated to Aung San and other leaders of the pre-independence interim government of Burma, all of whom were assassinated on the 19th of July 1947. Members of the South Korean government, as well as journalists and Chun's staff members, all gathered at the Martyrs' Mausoleum, with Chun's presidential car delayed by traffic. However, at 10:25 a.m. a presidential bugle rang out as a test run a few minutes early, symbolizing that Chun had arrived. At the time, 20 South Korean officials stood in two rows, ready for the arrival of Chun. Then one of 3 bombs let out on the roof of a martyr's mausoleum. The intended target, Chun, however, was stuck in traffic and was minutes away. The reason why the bomb went off early was because of a presidential bugle being conducted a few minutes before Chun's arrival, but because the attackers couldn't get a clear view of the site, they had no idea if Chun had arrived and let the bomb off prematurely. 46 people were injured and 21 people were killed, with 4 Burmese nationals, including 2 Burmese journalists, killed, with 2 Burmese ministers injured. Those South Koreans killed were the Deputy Prime Minister Seok-jun, Minister of Commerce Kim Dong-hwi, Minister of Power Resources Sang-chul, Chief Presidential Secretary Han Byung-chun, South Korean Ambassador to Burma Ki-Chil, the Senior Presidential Secretary for Economic Affairs Kim Jae-Ik, Planning Director of International Cooperation Committee Ha Dong-seong, Vice Minister of Finance Lee Gi-uk, Vice Minister of Agriculture, Forest and Fishery Gang In-hui, Vice Minister of Science and Technology Kim Yong-hwan, as well as a member of the National Assembly Sim Sang-woo. One of the most important politicians to be killed was Lee Bum-suk, the Foreign Minister of South Korea, since the 2nd of June 1982. He was a strong believer in unification, and shortly before his death on the 29th of June 1983, at the National Defense University in Nonsan, South Korea, he would state, "Normalization of relations with the Soviet Union and China is an important task for Korean diplomacy," and he would use the term Nordpolitik for the first time, which called for normalized relations between North Korea, China, and the Soviet Union, which was adopted by South Korea's future president Roh Tae-woon in 1988. Others killed included physician in attendance to President Chun, Min Byung-seok, Presidential Press Secretary Lee Jae-Ik, Presidential Guards Han Kyung-hui and Jeong Tae-hin, as well as journalist Lee Jung-hyung, a reporter of the newspaper The Dong-il. However, the Korean Herald would put it best in 2023 during a revisit of the bombing on its 40th anniversary, stating, "North Korean attack kills the South's top economic policy makers, but misses main target and President Chun-Doo. Burma's head of military intelligence, Colonel Hyung-Keun, was dismissed for negligence of duty resulting from the bomb and replaced by General Kim Nyut. Chung cancelled his trip and returned to Seoul, South Korea, and blamed North Korea for the attack and attempt on his life, releasing a statement and stating no one in the world can doubt the crime was committed by North Korean communists who are irrational, inhumane, and well-known murderers who employ violence to cause bloodshed. Pyongyang has persistently committed provocations to sabotage the peace and security of the nation." Immediately after the attack, cabinet ministers convened and ordered South Korea's armed forces and police on special alert and set up a task force of vice ministers to deal with the crisis. Information Minister Lee Jin-hye would state, "We have come to realize once again the true nature of North Korea as a barbarous international group." Moreover, Burmese President Sun Yat would call the attack a premeditated act of terrorists. After the attack, Burma immediately suspended diplomatic relations with North Korea. Moreover, 69 countries directly criticized North Korea for the attack, with Costa Rica also severing ties with North Korea. A recovery team was dispatched from South Korea to Myanmar to bring the bodies of the South Korean victims, according to the Korean Herald, with the wounded brought back to Seoul. There were 3 suspects, Kang Min-Chul, Kim Jin-Su, and Sin Ki-Chil, a major and 2 captains of the Korean People's Army, who had slipped off a ship docked in the Rangoon port and had gotten explosives at the North Korean embassy in Rangoon. Kang Min-chul and Kim Jin-su attempted to commit suicide, with both cordoned by Burmese military, with both blowing themselves up with a hand grenade on the 9th of October 1983. Both survived, however Kang lost his right arm and Kim lost an eye and an arm. Shin went missing but was hunted down at 9 p.m. on the 10th of October, having dived into the Nyan Uktan harbour off Rangoon. A shootout occurred, with Shin killing 3 Burmese soldiers before being killed. As a result, Khan and Kim went to trial in 1984. By early December 1983, the Burmese government had completed their investigation and found that there was sufficient evidence to link the orchestration and organising of the attack to son of Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-Il, who it is alleged sanctioned the operation along with military officials of North Korea. This was the first time that North Korea had attacked on foreign soil. Kim refused to confess and assist authorities in Burma and was executed by hanging in 1984. However, Kang participated with Burmese authorities and was sentenced to life in jail. Kim Il-sung's government would always deny any link to Kang and the attack. Kang would serve his sentence at the Incheon prison north of Rangoon, one of the most notorious prisons in the world with capacity for 5,000 people and over 15,000 people in the prison as of 2022. In the prison it is alleged that diseases and injuries usually go untreated, with prisoners regularly beaten with a rubber pipe, filled with sand and chased by dogs and forced to crawl on their hands and knees across a gravel path. Also in 1989, Burma would change her name to Myanmar, and in the same year Rangoon would become Yangon. In 1991, several prisoners held a hunger strike demanding proper healthcare and the right to read newspapers. However, the prisoners were tortured using the gravel path method. On the 3rd of May 2008, over 100 prisoners were shot by guards, with 36 killed, and a further 4 inmates tortured and killed by prison guards, as it was believed that they were the ringleaders of the initial protests which culminated in the shooting. However, Kang would make the best of his situation, becoming fluent in Burmese, learning to climb mango trees, and would convert to Christianity, adopting the name Matthew. However, questions came to pass over what would happen to Kang if he was ever released from prison. He was always worried about the safety of his mother and sister in North Korea, having told Burmese officials of a terrorist plot by North Korea, believing that they would be tortured or murdered by the North Korean government. North Korea also denied that he was a North Korean citizen. In essence, he was stateless. However, he did not want to go to South Korea as he feared that he could be tried for his role in the assassination attempt. Indeed, in February 2006, Hyung-Keun, a member of the Grand National Party in South Korea and a former employee of South Korean intelligence, sponsored a bill to bring him to South Korea. However, this wasn't to protect him. Chung Zaid Park Wung-seo would state that the government should bring him here to get to the bottom of this kind of barbaric act and record it in history. A petition called for Myanmar to release Kang and return him to Seoul to face trial, which gained 56 signatures from retired soldiers, civic activists and other ordinary citizens. However, this would never come to pass. Kang died of liver cancer, having suffered from liver disease at the age of 53 while being transferred to hospital from Incheon prison to what was now Yangon. By this stage, he had been in prison for 25 years and was the longest-serving foreigner in a Myanmar prison. Diplomatic relations between Myanmar and North Korea were restored on the 25th of April 2007. In 1994, a representative of South Korea to the United Nations General Assembly linked North Korea to the Rangoon bombing and the bombing of Korean Air Flight 858, which was exploded mid-air by 2 North Korean agents on a flight from Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates to Bangkok, Thailand, in an attempt to dissuade foreign countries from attending the 1988 Seoul, South Korean Olympic Games. As a result, North Korea was listed as a state sponsor of terrorism ever since 1994, except between 2008 and November 2017. Thank you for watching. Please do yourself a favour and hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified of when new videos come out. Also, why not hit that like button and leave a nice comment? It helps more than you know and your support is truly appreciated. Until next time, stay awesome, stay classy, be kind to everyone you meet, have an amazing day, and remember the truth is always more interesting than fiction.